A massive weekend looms for the Gunners, facing Graham Potter's Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, fresh off another victory against FC Zurich. Today, we'll break the game down, as well as discussing potential transfers for Mykhaylo Mudryk, Facundo Torres and Wilfried Zaha. We'll find out if Gabriel Martinelli has confirmed his new contract, and how Mikel Arteta is planning for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. Gargantuan football this weekend, the Arsenal versus Chelsea. I know you guys are looking forward to it, so as per, make sure to go down there, smash a like if you've enjoyed the content, subscribe if you are new, and help your boy as we are very close to 125,000 subscribers. Gargantuan is the word. But let's start off with Arsenal 1, FC Zurich 0. There was no 5 things you learnt yesterday because your boy just thought the game wasn't that interesting, but that being said, we still learned quite a bit, and ultimately Arsenal collected all 3 points. The standout player was definitely Kieran Tierney, with a 94% passing accuracy in the final third, 66 touches, the most on the pitch, 5 crosses, 5 duels won, 2 chances created, 2 shots, and ultimately 1 fantastic goal. Can we just talk about for a second Kieran Tierney's ball striking? We've seen it in the past a few times where he's hit the post, but in this occasion here, the ball striking was on point. Tierney might not be as smooth as a technician as Alexander Zinchenko, but as shown by that goal, there definitely is technique there, and the fact that he had the most touches out of any Arsenal player on the pitch. And he understands that Mikel Arteta wants almost a midfielder playing a left back. Tierney has now taken it upon himself to learn to control games, and as Tierney says after the game, I want to play every single chance I can get, but I'm just going to keep working hard. The manager knows I will give 100% every single day, whether I am starting or not. I will support the team from the bench. If I need to come on, I'll give everything. Kieran Tierney is the ultimate competitor, and that's what you can see straight away. He's not a player that's going to moan and sit on the bench and cry about it. Instead, he's going to learn, he's going to improve his game, and ultimately Arsenal are going to get a even more complete and better Kieran Tierney. But with the imminent return of Zinchenko and Tomiyasu starting over Tierney as a left back, there are some doubts about his future. As Mike McGrath reports, Kieran Tierney is the last man standing from the Unai Emery's first team arrivals, and it looks inevitable that he will attract interest from clubs as he's currently only starting in Europa League game. When you've got Tomiyasu as a right back playing over him as a left back, there's no chance Tierney's going to be happy about that. So even though I think these reports here are just a little bit premature, going into the future, if Tierney remains as a third choice left back, then with the lack of quality of top left backs in the market, Tierney will become a man in demand. This video has been kindly sponsored by the wonderful people at HelloFresh. People are busy and time is of the essence. So if you are someone that is looking for quick, convenient and healthy meals, say hello to HelloFresh, who deliver amazing boxes straight to your front door, full of all the recipes, ingredients and everything you need to make it as simple and as stress-free as possible for you to cook the food that is the best for you, including all of your nutritional information, your calories, your proteins, your carbs, etc. It's as simple as going on their website or their app, selecting your meals of choice, and they have quite a few different options, including their rapid recipe range. Delicious meals that you guys can cook in under 20 minutes. And the most fantastic thing is that your boy has got you guys a gargantuan offer. All you guys have to do is click the link down below in the description, and by using the code BAVS50, you guys can get yourself a gargantuan 50% off your first box, plus 35% off your next 3 boxes. And it gets even better as you will also get 3 free gifts. So make sure to use your boy's code, and as someone that has lost over 30 kilos over the past year, a service like this is sensational because it makes it so much easier to make the right choices and eat better. The next thing that stood out was the lack of confidence from Eddie Nketiah. Another game from Eddie Nketiah where as an Arsenal fan you're left wanting a little bit more. He's missed a bag load of big chances, he's not scoring that many goals, and that might be fine for your normal 22-year-old, but when you're the Arsenal number 14 and I've got a brand new bumper contract, I can't be the only Arsenal fan thinking I just want a little bit more from Eddie Nketiah. But the Nketiah that I saw at the start of the season, the performance off the bench against Fulham, there was a different level of confidence, impact and intensity, and the Nketiah I'm seeing now is far more reserved, and it looks like he's lacking a bit of motivation. But in terms of the Arsenal strikers, it was another game without a goal for Gabriel Jesus, and this was a game full of so many chances, as Arsenal created 1.86 XG. The dribbling was fantastic, likewise the hold-up play, but you had that one massive chance in the second half where the keeper made a great save. But if you want to be classified as as the best of the best number 9s, you have to be scoring that chance. But Mykhaylo Mudryk on Jesus' form says that's going to change. His bad luck. He's getting the situations. He's getting the chances. He's contributing to the team an awful lot. He's helping to win matches. The way that he competes for every ball and every single action is incredible. And that's why I'm ultimately not too concerned, because even though Jesus is a confidence player, the fact that he's now gone, I believe, 8 games without a goal, yet the rest of his play is still fantastic and he's still contributing in every other facet. This is what Jesus is, that even if he doesn't score a goal, he will still find a way to impact the game. But in terms of Arsenal, after the narrow win and a very nervy ending, Arsenal have finished top of the Europa League group. With 15 points out of a possible 18, they have automatically qualified for the last 16 of the Europa League. And in terms of the other teams that have qualified, you have the likes of Sociedad, Fenerbahce, Betis, the second place teams of PSV themselves, Roma, Rennes, Man United, but the Champions League teams stand out so much. Ajax, Leverkusen, Barcelona, Shakhtar, Sevilla and Juventus. But that being said, as an Arsenal fan, seeing how we're playing in the Premier League, and if we start playing more of our first teamers, if we can be just a little bit more clinical, there might be Barcelona, they might be Man United, but for me, I put Arsenal as one of the favourites to win this year's Europa League. Moving on to the breaking Arsenal news. Arsenal's Brazilian star boy Gabriel Martinelli is Arsenal's joint top goal scorer in the Premier League this season, but with his contract running out in 2024, Martinelli has spoken on his future, saying, "I'm very happy at Arsenal. I said it many times, this is my club. I love to be here, I love the city, I love everything about Arsenal. I want to stay, I just need to get a pen." Forget your here we goes etc. That is confirmation from the player himself. He wants to and will extend his Arsenal contract. All that's left here is for Arsenal to find an agreement in terms of wages, as I'm pretty sure a certain Jurgen Klopp would have been crying listening to those quotes. Moving on to the transfer news though, according to Ryan Taylor of The Express, despite Arsenal currently sitting top of the pile in the Premier League, there is an appreciation that more depth could be required in order to ensure they remain capable of maintaining their title challenge. Up against the quality of Guardiola's Man City, Haaland, De Bruyne, etc., we need to strengthen in the January transfer window. And starting off with the wide forwards, Shakhtar's Mykhaylo Mudryk has been on fire this season, with 14 goals and assists in 13 appearances, 5 coming in the Champions League. According to the Shakhtar goalkeeper, he says, "I like the way Mudryk is focused only on himself. All these transfer rumours affect him only in a positive way, because he enjoys what he does, and in the team we can tell him, well, you're already at Arsenal, let's all go." Has a Shakhtar teammate just confirmed that Mudryk is heading to the Emirates Stadium? According to reports in Ukraine, Mykhaylo Mudryk is now very likely to leave Shakhtar in January, following their elimination from the Champions League, with Arsenal, Liverpool and Man City all interested in the player. With Shakhtar out of the Champions League and now in the Europa League, according to Ben Jacobs, the club have always been open and to an extent anticipating a January sale. Mudryk has been told that he can leave for the right price, but there will be no cut price sale. The price tag is where it gets very technical, because look, Mudryk's a fantastic player and the potential is very good, but as Jacob says, nothing's advanced club to club. Despite the genuine interest, Arsenal were put off by the €50 million price tag in the summer, but Arteta sees Mudryk's frightening potential and believes there is room to turn him into a more versatile winger. The potential is definitely frightening, especially under Mykhaylo Mudryk, when you've seen what he's done at Man City with Raheem Sterling and Leroy Sané, then at Arsenal with Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. Mudryk has so much of the fundamentals and the talents that under the coaching of Mykhaylo Mudryk he can become a scary good player. But that €50 million price tag in the summer has now gotten even more expensive, and we are talking upwards of €60 million. Comment down below if you believe Arsenal should spend upwards of £50 million on Mykhaylo Mudryk in the January transfer window. Moving on to Orlando City's Facundo Torres. According to reports in Uruguay, Facundo Torres has a chance to join Arsenal, but it won't be until next summer's transfer window. The player's representatives, Edgardo La Salvia, will meet with Arsenal next week. However, nothing is advanced right now. Now in terms of signings out of the MLS, like Arsenal have done in the past with Matt Turner, they signed him in January but confirmed it in the summer, with a meeting scheduled that might be a similar case with Facundo Torres. But more importantly, if Arsenal are going to sign a player in January, I think they want him available ASAP. Because if we are fighting for the title, we need the players to play right now. But what about Crystal Palace's Wilfried Zaha? According to the Evening Standard, Arsenal and Chelsea have both tracked Wilfred Zaha for some time, and either club would be able to outbid both Barcelona and Juventus in terms of wages. Palace are understood to have made Zaha a verbal offer of a new contract that will increase the pay. Wilfred Zaha is out of contract at the end of this season, meaning if he doesn't extend his contract, he will be available for a free transfer in the summer. But if he does want to leave Crystal Palace and find a new adventure elsewhere, could Arsenal sign Zaha for a cut price transfer in the January transfer window? In the Premier League this year, Zaha already has 5 league goals, and last year that was 13. At 29 years of age, he is the perfect profile for the now and the present. He has a bagload of Premier League experience, and more importantly, he's a very versatile forward. Despite playing a majority of his games as a left winger, he has played a lot of games also down the middle. If he is available for a cut price transfer or a free transfer in the summer, in my opinion, I wouldn't mind Zaha at the Emirates Stadium. Moving on to Chelsea versus Arsenal. A gargantuan game as always at Stamford Bridge. Graham Potter versus Mikel Arteta. The return of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, but more importantly, Arsenal have another chance to make another statement. The opponents Chelsea have not been in the best of form, having not won any of their last 3 league games, losing their last one 4-1 to Brighton. For Arsenal, it's back-to-back wins and are unbeaten in the Premier League since the start of September. But in terms of Chelsea and what they are, under Graham Potter they are definitely very unpredictable, but in terms of ball possession, with 60% per game, that's the 3rd highest in the Premier League, even above Arsenal. But despite having so much of the ball, Chelsea have a tendency to not make that many chances. And this year in the league, they are 13th in terms of expected goals created, behind the likes of Leeds United, Fulham and Aston Villa. But in terms of their team news, the likes of Reece James and Wesley Fofana are confirmed out. Likewise Kepa Arrizabalaga, and now you also have Ben Chilwell, but they could see the return of Mateo Kovacic. In terms of Arsenal, still no Emil Smith-Rowe or Matt Turner. Tomiyasu is a bit of a doubt after coming off in the last game, but apart from that, the return of El Neni, and more importantly, we can also welcome back Alexander Zinchenko. The return of Zinchenko for me is gargantuan, so in terms of how Mikel Arteta is going to match up tactically against Graham Potter, it's going to be the full 3-3 as always, and the back 5 of Ramsdale on goal, with Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel and Zinchenko as the back 4. The midfield 3 of Partey, Xhaka and Odegaard, and the front 3 of Gabriel Martinelli, Jesus and Bukayo Saka. Now I can already see the comments of people saying Babs, it's way too soon to start Zinchenko. But with Tomiyasu being a doubt, the fact that Zinchenko was on the bench against Zurich, he is a player that every time he's been available in the Premier League, Mikel Arteta has started, and Chelsea are a very good team at keeping the ball. So to throw in an elite technician like Zinchenko, he could be so important for Arsenal in terms of playing out of Chelsea's press and also keeping the ball. But in terms of the tactics, Graham Potter is just so unpredictable. Sometimes it's the 3-4-3, sometimes it's the 4-3-3. One thing's for certain, Chelsea love to build out with a back 3, and that's where Arsenal are going to have to be ultra aggressive in their press. The likes of Saka and Martinelli are definitely going to invert like they've been doing so far this season. But if Chelsea do play a back 5, don't be surprised if you see Bukayo Saka in some parts of the game dropping as a wing back. The midfield is definitely going to be very important, and I think if you look at Chelsea's last massive game against Man United, United are a good team but Arsenal are definitely better, especially in midfield, and Chelsea was simply outnumbered. So if Potter does go for a pivot with the form of Partey, Odegaard and Xhaka, if you also have Zinchenko, then Arsenal could have a lot of control. This game is also the first time Arsenal come up against Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And before the game, the ex-captain has been speaking, saying, Arsenal, nothing personal, I'm back, I'm blue, I'm ready, let's go. Now Arteta says Aubameyang will be very dangerous. If Oba has something, it's the ability to put the ball in the back of the net, and he is going to be doing that until the day he decides he's had enough of football. With the way Aubameyang left Arsenal, this game is definitely going to be very personal, and one thing Arsenal fans know about Aubameyang is his fantastic movement in behind. William Saliba has to be very careful, because if Aubameyang runs in behind, he will cause Arsenal issues. And even though you have to respect Chelsea, especially at Stamford Bridge, unbeaten in their last 11 games there, records are there to be broken, and this year Arsenal are the best team away from home in the Premier League. It is definitely a gargantuan game with so many different prospects, so my friends, comment down below, how do you think Mikel Arteta should line up? And most importantly, your match day predictions. But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, smash a like and subscribe if you are new. Make sure to follow your boy on all of his social medias, all the links are down below in the description. But that was all of today's latest Arsenal news, the Zurich game, the Arsenal transfer news and a game against Chelsea. A gargantuan episode with a gargantuan game this Sunday, which hopefully Arsenal can make a statement. I'll see you guys next time, take care of yourselves and bye.